Hello students, welcome to social studies class once again. Today here I shall start a new chapter, and according to your second evaluation syllabus this is the last chapter and last class as well, and it is chapter number 27, urban livelihood. Now in this chapter here we will discuss about the works and the jobs that the people of urban areas they do. In India there are many big and the old cities are there, and how to identify and how to declare an area as urban area. So some basic criteria are there. Say in an area, if the population is more than 5,000 and at least more than 75% of the people should engage in the activities other than the primary activities, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, quinary, other than the primary activities. When the more than 75% people of an area engage in secondary, tertiary, quaternary and the quinary activities, and the third criteria is the population density of that area at least 400 person per square kilometer. So these are the three basic criteria to declare an area as urban area. And now the cities, metropolitan city and the mega city. Now according to the Census Commission, which defines that the cities which have more than 10 lakh or the 1 million population, these are called as metropolitan city, and the cities which have more than 10 million population, such cities are called as mega city. Now in this metropolitan city and the mega cities, people live and they do the different works. Here we will see the different works. Now the economic activities are categorized and classified in three main divisions: primary, secondary and the tertiary. Now first we will see the primary activities. Now the activities which are associated or related with the natural resources and the activities which are associated with the land, say the farming, cattle rearing, fishing, poultry, forestry, all these are example of the primary occupation. The people, those who do all such works are known as the primary economic activity doers. Next, secondary activities. Whatever we get from the primary activities or the mainly agricultural activities, so to make all these products or the goods into more convenient or more in a very usable form, when we process all these, so such activities are called as secondary activities. So the activities which includes, say, the manufacturing or producing something better goods with the help of the primary goods, such activities are known as the secondary activities. Clear? Say when the raw cotton is cultivated, and to cultivate the raw cotton, so we need black soil. Clear? Black soil. So when the raw cotton will be cultivated and directly we cannot use the raw cotton, so what we have to do? So manufacturer, by using this raw cotton, so what they will do? They will produce the cloth. Now producing or the spinning or weaving of this cloth, these are known as the secondary activities. Now next one, it is the tertiary activities. Now the activities basically provide services to the primary and the secondary activities. Economic activities is known as tertiary activities. Say whatever the produce or the goods I have produced, say I am an industrialist, so I have produced tons of this, say bread, clear, or the cotton. Now I need transport system to transport the goods from manufacturing unit to the market, and then only when the same will be transported, then the ultimate consumer, they will get the same, and accordingly then only I shall enjoy the profit of the same. So these are the three main economic activities what the people do. Next we will see a case study of Delhi. New Delhi, it is the capital city of India and also the oldest city and very thickly populated city. Now the New Delhi railway station gives the real picture of the hectic activities where the people performs. Now whenever you go there, so you will find that so a number of or the many rickshawalas and the taxis outside the station waiting for the passenger so that they can take them to their destination. Now with the help of these rickshawalas or the taxis, so people easily can reach their destination from the station. You will also find and you will also see that the number of people they are selling or running their business shops and serving the foods, and in return so they are also earning their livelihood. You will also find the hotels, okay, and dhabas, restaurant offering the varieties foods. In Delhi, number of multi-story buildings are there, hotels are also there, and offices, many big industries are there, and where the large number of people also work, and by working there, so all are earning their bread and butter. In Delhi and in the Paharganj side, so you would find auto rickshaw playing in the by lanes with a few rickshaws as well, and they carry passenger to their destination. Now working on the street, and you will also find that the number of people who work on the street. So Delhi, the city of bustling the activities, and people of the different region, social, economic background live there. All section of the people, irrespective of the barriers, so all people live there and earn their bread and butter. Some people are very rich, some are average, and majority of the people are very poor as well. So all people are striving hard to earn the maximum profit and earn their livelihood. So women sitting at one corner sell the green vegetables, and her or the the children of that particular woman so help her in the work. You will also find and you will also see that the newspaper boy who carries the newspaper to the homes in the early morning and rest of the day, so he sells them on the street. So different working group of the people, they work in the respective areas or the field, and they earn their bread and the butters. In the urban areas and in the cities, so the street vendors, hawkers are important part of the urban life and economy as well. The Mumbai's Dabbawala, so Dabba service, it is very much popular in Mumbai. So Dabbawalas, maybe you heard about that. So all these hawkers, Dabbawalas and the vendors, so they provide services, and they also plays an important role in the economy of the nation. Next we will see business. So in the urban areas, you will also find that number of people who do their business. Now business, it is a major occupation of the people in the urban areas. Large number of the people, they do their business and they try their best to earn the profit. Number of people, they own their shop, they own their own shops and they carry their business. Now, these businessmen, they registered themselves with the municipal corporation, and that is why, so in the urban areas, if you go, you will find that, so outside of the every shop, you will find one municipality house number, it is also there. So, and the municipal corporations, so also give them license to do their business. Next, it is regular employment. Regular employment, it is all about the employees who work in the factories, government departments, bank, industries. Now, these are the different sectors which gives employment to the people, and those who work in these different sectors, say in the government department, industries, factories, banks, so they are known as the regular employees. Now, these workers or these employees are also permanent worker, and they get salary at the end of the month, and they do or they discharge their duty every day other than the declared holidays. Companies also give them extra allowances and the other facilities and the benefits and take care of their employees, and if all these are done, then only they will serve better in the factories or the areas where they are working. Now, next it is the daily wage earner. Now, who are called as the daily wage earner? The people, those who earn regularly. So, in the cities, besides these regular employees, so numerous daily wage workers are also there, and these people, what they do, they work in the factories or construction site, or work as painter, plumber, okay, and laborers, sanitary workers, and many other fields they work. They are not skilled like the people, those who work in the government department, factories, banks. So wherever they get work, so they do the work. They are not regular employees, clear? So if they get work, they do, and if they do not get work, then they are jobless. So when they do work, they earn the wages, and when there is no work, they are jobless. So their life is not as smooth as like the regular employees that we have already discussed. Now the next topic and the last one, it is the migration of the people to the town and the cities. Now, why do people migrate to the town areas from the rural areas? So number of reasons are there, and I said in the last class also while discussing the rural livelihood there. So why do people, they migrate to urban areas from the rural areas? So number of reasons are there, but this movement from one place to another place, it is called as migration, and here migration, it is moving from rural area to the urban area, it is migration. So now why do people, they migrate? So in search of the job. Now in the rural area, and mainly during the off seasons, so generally they do not have any work to do in the rural area. So as a result, what they do, so they migrate to the urban areas and in search of job and to earn the bread and butter and to support their family, they kept back in the rural areas. So by going there, and mainly those who mainly those who migrate from the rural area to the urban area, mainly they are the unskilled laborer, and they work in the different fields, and they also sell tea, vegetables, and work in the factories and other domestic help. So now the impact of this migration, so whenever or when the people they migrate from the rural areas to the urban areas, so as a result what happens? So the density of the urban areas so also increases, and the total population also increases in the urban areas. Now it is because of the migration that the two-way benefits is also there. Benefits are also there. One, so when they move from the rural area to the urban area, so they earn the bread and butter and earn money, and as a result, so they sustain themselves and they also support their family in the rural area, okay, by sending the money and all this. And the urban people, how do they get benefit from this migrated people? So easily the urban people, they can employ them in any works. And the last benefit, number of benefits are there, but here it is one of the important benefit. It is that now whenever these villagers or the village people, they migrate to the urban areas, and by working there and when they live in the urban areas, so they learn number of the new things, and when they go back to their rural areas, so they also take back the new ideas from the cities to the villages, and as a result, so the village people also, they try to upgrade themselves like the urban people. This is all about the day's discussion in the chapter. So you student, read well at home, go through this chapter, enjoy this class, and 4 chapters are there in your second evolution syllabus, and all the 4 chapters I have discussed thoroughly. You enjoy all these classes, read all the chapters thoroughly, and while doing so, if you face any problem, every night you call me, I shall help you. And this is all about the day's discussion. Thanks to all.